All right, what's up guys? So today I've got another video for you, but before I get into the video, I do have to give the obligatory sorry for not making a video for the past couple months apology. Life has somehow gotten even busier than it was a couple months ago. And just to give you some background on that, if you've watched my prior videos, you probably know that I owned a duplex for a couple years, lived in one side, rented out the other. Well, backstory to that is before we got that duplex, our first plan was to buy some land. That's what we really wanted, but housing prices were getting crazy. They were basically doubling at the time post-pandemic, so we didn't. Well, eventually, anyways, not to get into another crazy side tangent like I always do, we ended up selling my duplex, went and bought some land and a new house about an hour outside of town. So now I've got 5.5 acres. I now live further away from work, so I've got to commute. I am still going to college, trying to work on getting a degree. So yeah, now I've got a long commute, college, property to maintain. All good stuff, all stuff that I wanted, all my choices. But because of all that, I do have less time. So that's why I haven't made a video in a while. I have a lot of ideas for videos that I want to make and I plan to make. And we're going to knock one out here by talking about, and I know it's late, Gears of War E-Day and the Gears of War E-Day beta weekends that just happened. I wanted to give my thoughts on it. I will say up front that I didn't get to play as much as I wanted to. I probably only played about 10 hours total, but I do feel like the amount of time that I played, I did get a good idea of how I feel about the game, and my feelings initially to now have changed. So yeah, let's go ahead and go over it. So we'll start with that. How did I feel when I first launched up the beta? Honestly, I really wasn't feeling the game that much. I launched it up, I played 2 matches. I didn't really like the way that it felt. Things were quite different. I did watch a lot of videos of people playing the closed betas before. I changed my settings to modern. I was working on getting used to the controls. Got used to them fairly quickly, but I just really couldn't figure out how the game played. So I found myself getting destroyed. And I kind of just was like, I'm not really feeling it right now. I'm really busy. I don't have a lot of time. I'm not going to spend all this time just getting destroyed. And I jumped off. Well, of course, being someone that's loved Gears of War and has played the original Gears of War game since he was 11 or 12 years old, I literally played Gears of War before Gears 2 even came out. I would do the OG sniper battles of like Milkbone and some friends, like that whole thing that was going on back then. Anyways, I had to jump back on. So I jumped back on. The second time was kind of the same as the first time. I played a couple matches, just really wasn't feeling it. But again, being persistent, continue to watch content, I jumped on again. And then my third time playing, that's where the tides kind of changed, where I started getting more used to the way the game played, how to play it. And I started bodying some people, and I was like, okay, I like the way that this feels. And then from there, I continued to play, and my feelings about the game got a lot better. And I really started to actually enjoy playing. So I think a lot of it was what a lot of people run into. We are just animals. We're just human beings. We have initial reactions to things. I think I just had to get used to how the game played, get used to the mechanics, get used to the maps before I really felt comfortable with it. And once I was comfortable with it, I actually found myself enjoying the game. And so to go deeper into that, if you're not aware, Gears of War E-Day has some additional mechanics that just weren't in prior Gears of War games. Yes, on prior Gears of War games, you could vault over things, but you usually wouldn't be able to jump onto cover. Well, now you can jump onto cover, and the 2 maps that they have, there's areas where you can actually kind of go on higher ground or like traverse the map different ways. So they've added that. They've added basically jumping and vaulting on top of things to the game. And to me, that added another level that wasn't in prior games, to where now you might see people having a shotgun battle, and if they have the ability to jump onto a platform, they may take the high ground. If they have the ability to crawl onto something, they might take a different route somewhere. And that's 2 different ways that adds 2 different things that were in prior Gears games to E-Day, and I thought it was a good thing. You just have to get used to it. Another thing that they added was sliding, and sliding, I think it's also a good addition. It makes it to where if you know how to use it, you can play the game in a fast-paced way. You can also traverse things a different way because you can slide under things. There's not just, I know what this person can do. They can come around cover, or they have to run straight at me or whatever. someone could actually slide, and if they plan their slide correctly, they can slide and actually hit around that corner or get around that corner and shoot you versus having to go around a corner with the cover system. So another good addition. And then they changed roadie running. To me, this one didn't feel too different. It looked like it felt to me more like it was an animation change, although maybe it's a little bit slower. Maybe you don't run as quick. I heard a lot of people complain about not being able to look around as quickly, but I feel like, and I could be wrong, but if I remember correctly, on most Gears of War games, while you're roadie running, your camera and the way it functions changed a little bit, where you couldn't turn as quickly. So the running, honestly, the big difference for me on the running was the fact that with modern, and I think it might be that way on default as well, but especially with modern, getting used to pressing in the stick to run instead of like roadie running by holding A or by holding X if you played different keybinds like I used to, or controller schemes. Really, it felt different. It was hard to get used to at first because you're not used to it with Gears of War, but you're used to it usually with Call of Duty and other games if you play those. So it didn't take me that long to get used to, and I felt like the animation looked better. The normal running looks better than roadie running, especially for casual people who aren't used to roadie running. I know roadie running, once you've played the game, you're just used to it, but if you're not used to it, a lot of the people are like, why is this person crouching down and running like this? So yeah, I don't know. The running didn't feel that different to me, but it is it's different. So yeah. Anyways, yeah, there's different mechanics in E-Day that didn't exist in prior Gears games, and after I got used to them all, I felt like they were all really good additions. God, I don't know. It's tough. I don't have a real structure to this. I'm kind of just doing my typical let's talk about it in one shot thing. I guess I can go over a list of stuff that I like and I don't like, and I'm not going to do all things I like, then all things I dislike. I'm just going to fire stuff off. So first, shotgun only has 6 shells. I think it should have 8. The reason why I think it should have 8 is because I feel like there were situations where, and there will be situations where you're 1v4ing, and doing that with 6 shells is a lot harder than 8. And I just feel like there should still be plenty of opportunity to squad wipe, and with 6 shells, there's going to be more situations where you run into having to reload than you would if there were 8 shots. I would like to see 8 shots. I think most people agree with that. If it stays 6, it's not the end of the world, but the game being so shotgun-centric still, I'd like to see 8 shots in it, and I like Gears of War being shotgun-centric. I'm glad that didn't really change. The Nasher gameplay has always been super compelling. Let's see what else. Wall bouncing, another important thing. Wall bouncing is still in this game. It's just different, and it's not the only way to play and to get kills and to be good at the game. And again, I think that's a good addition, the fact that you don't have to crazy wall bounce, but you can now slide, you can now traverse things, or get on top of things and try and take the high ground. There's more variety. It's not just like wall bounce and aim and see who wins. I was worried about that because I enjoy the wall bouncing mechanic on all the Gears of War games, particularly Gears of War 1, which I know a lot of people actually don't like because it's a little stickier. I like it that way. I feel like, yeah, there's enough wall bouncing in this game, but you don't absolutely need to know how to wall bounce to be able to outplay somebody. So I think that's good. What else? The being able to get up and jump variety stuff's good. Variety of traversing the map different ways because of that is good. What else? Horde. That's one thing. People are probably not going to like this, or not going to say that I didn't play enough. I only played one Horde match, and it was good, but I didn't really care that much. I've just never really been a big PvE guy, especially when it comes to Gears of War. I do remember when Gears 2 came out and the Horde was out. It was really fun. It was really cool, really new. I just wanted to play PvP, so that's pretty much all I did, with the exception of one PvE match that I played. And I think PvP is important. I think PvP is really what keeps people in these communities and games. I know PvE is a contributing factor, especially when you can play with friends, but a really good example I use is I think it's a good example, it might not be, is Halo ODST. Halo ODST came out, and it had the campaign, and then it had that firefight mode, which was like Horde and Halo. And yes, people played it. Yes, people enjoyed it. Yes, it's still a really good game that people talk about occasionally, but it didn't hold a big community of people, and people weren't playing firefight all the time, 24/7. Whereas when Halo Reach came out, I feel like the community blew up again, and everyone was playing multiplayer, Forge mode, all that fun stuff. I feel like multiplayer is what keeps people on the game, and that's what I really care about with Gears of War, so that's what I focused on. What else? The new controls are good if you play on Modern. I do think that you run into a situation if you don't have paddles with the controller where you still have too many functions on one button. I did run into some situations where I meant to slide, but I ended up going to cover, or vice versa. I wanted to go to cover and I ended up sliding. That's kind of an issue. It can be resolved if you have paddles to where you can do more binds, or if you play mouse and keyboard where you can separate those binds. At least I assume you can. I did run into a situation where I think I wanted to melee, but I ended up executing somebody. Kind of the same thing. If your melee and execute button are the same and you're close to somebody that's on the ground, you might end up executing them instead of meleeing the person in front of you. That's kind of an issue. Again, might also be resolved by having paddles if you can do separate binds for those two functions. So because there's some additional, mechanics in the game, like the sliding, like the jumping up on things, like the all these additional functions, having multiple things on one key or one button can cause some issues. So if you don't have a way around that, you might run into some issues. I know a lot of people complained about not being able to frag tag. I think it'd be nice to see that in the game again. I don't really know why it wouldn't be. I don't think it was that big of an issue, or at least be able to melee people and frag tag them. Maybe not necessarily on, like environment, like having to set like a claymore or something. But I honestly like that part of Gears 2 when they added that. I thought it was a good mechanic. I think it'd be nice if it was in this game. I don't know if there's like a core issue that they found and they tried it, but I would like to see that. A lot of people, weirdly enough, complain about not being able to meat shield people. I don't really care that much about meat shield, but Wingman when Wingman on Gears 2 was like really awesome, and I know a lot of people meat shield people there as like the as part of the gameplay. So I don't know, it's weird. Some of those things, it's like, yeah, just put it back in the game. It's been part of Gears of War games for a while. Put meat shielding in, put frag tagging in. What's another big one? There's there's something else. When you jump over cover kicking people, I don't really care because I'm a big Gears of War 1 guy, and you couldn't do that in Gears 1, but again, modern game, I don't see why they removed that. I think it should be in there too. If someone's on the other side and you jump over first and you kick them and stagger them and have an opportunity to kill them, I think that's like a good mechanic that makes sense. So maybe put that back in the game as well. It's not a make or break for me, none of those, because again, I am such a Gears 1 guy, and maybe that's why they did Reloaded, is they thought that this game would be closer to Reloaded, or that was their plan. But I also agree with people. It'd be nice to see those things in this game, because I think this game has a lot of variety, but I think adding even more to it is beneficial. I don't know. A lot of the same mechanics are the same, which I like, or very similar. The game's changed enough to be fun for new people and for people that wanted to see a change, but it's familiar enough to where people who are used to playing Gears of War can pick it up relatively quickly. And still enjoy it. I think that's how I felt. So that's good. Ugh. What else do I need? I didn't get a lot of playtime with the sniper, to be honest. So I can't talk a lot about it. I'm not a big fan of asymmetrical power weapons on maps, but that's also kind of a Gears of War thing. It's always kind of been that way, where there's a different power weapon on each side of the map. I kind of wish, like, for example, on God, I don't even know the map names, I'm sorry. But on the map that has one side that has the sniper and one side that has the minigun, if they both had like a sniper or they both had a minigun, I think that would be a little bit better. But that's just a personal preference. Again, not a make or break. Spawns felt like they took forever. I don't like a 12-second spawn time. I like the game to be faster paced. I think Gears of War traditionally always has kind of been that way. It's a reason why people like the shotgun gameplay. I think that they should shorten that up a bit. I felt like TDM felt good on this game, which is weird because I always had a hard time adapting to it over execution on Gears 1. I always enjoyed execution more, but I think, and I really wish, I know why they don't do it, but I really wish we'd see more execution in games, because I've always been a search and destroy on Call of Duty and execution type guy, because I think it's fun to just have one life and have to play very like cautiously. But also be rewarded by being able to outplay somebody. Like, oh, they're gone, they're off the map. But, you know, I understand a lot of people aren't into that now. So anyways, my point is Team Deathmatch felt good, where I felt like it felt kind of weird at first to get used to on Gears 1 or on Reloaded. Shoot. What else? I don't know. I guess overall, I really, you know, I saw both ends of the spectrum. At first, I really didn't like it that much, and as I got more familiar with it, I found myself really liking the game. I think that it has a lot of potential. I do think it's going to be tough because it is releasing so close to Grand Theft Auto 6, which is unfortunate, but the game has to come out. I want to see the game come out. We still have to see what the campaign's like. Hopefully it's really good. But I do think launching so close to Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to be tough. I think my biggest worry there is I'd really like to see this Gears of War get enough momentum to really rebuild a Gears of War community, and I'd like to see the multiplayer do really well and Horde do really well and have a lot of people playing this game. But I worry with it releasing so close to Grand Theft Auto 6 that that's not going to happen. We'll see. Hopefully it doesn't have that big of an impact. But another thing I noticed is when I was really excited to play this beta and I told friends about it, I had friends that had played Gears of War growing up that just weren't interested. Now, a lot of that comes down to probably just being in a different place in life because we're all now adults. I'm no longer 12, I'm 32, and all my friends are about that same age, so we are full-blown adults who have to work full-time, some of which work multiple jobs. And so taking the time to play a game, sometimes you don't want to play something that's going to take you time to relearn, or you don't want to play games at all. And so, I don't know, that was something I noticed is none of my other friends played, which was another reason why I didn't play a lot of Horde. I had friends talk about playing, but never jumped on or never got it. I think part of that issue with that might have been that the first open beta, technically, required you to either have Game Pass or pre-order the game. And I have friends that weren't going to pay $50 to pre-order it because they don't care enough and that don't have Game Pass, and so they couldn't jump on. And then I think by the week that it was fully open, if I'm thinking about it correctly, if it even was fully open, by that point it's already past carrying time and already past media coverage as much, and now you have to be like a core community person that's subscribed to Gears people to really care or know, or follow them on Twitter or whatever. And the opportunity's gone and they don't really care that much, or the opportunity's not gone, but it being in their mind is gone and on with life. So yeah, I don't know. I worry about the game staying relevant. I don't think that if it does, I don't think it's really going to be a core issue with how the game plays. I think it's just one of those things where Gears of War has had this long gap in time between games, had Reloaded, which caused a resurgence if you really cared about Gears of War 1 like I did, but also wasn't enough to hold people over for a long time. Was also weird that they put it on PlayStation, but then this is an Xbox and PC exclusive. I don't know what that's all about. Clearly, they had different plans before, and then they changed them. But yeah, I don't know. I'd like to see this game cause a quote-unquote resurgence, if that's even the right word, for Gears of War, and I'd like to see more people playing Gears of War, talking about Gears of War, and I'd like to see Gears of War continue to do well as a franchise. I'd like to see a follow-up game, but I worry with the timing of the release and just the amount of time that it's been since they've released a new Gears of War game. I'm kind of skeptical as if that will happen, which is a bummer. I hope it does, but we will have to see. Anyways, sorry that I just go off on tangents. Again, life's been really busy, so I'm just doing this in one shot. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And I'm sure I'm missing something big that I didn't cover. That's probably a big deal. I just can't think of it right now. But I hope you enjoyed, and I will catch you guys later.